Stop giving generic interview answers. Use the STAR method instead. Now, let's talk about what is the STAR method. The STAR method is when you break down your actionable interview actions into a description. You write out 2 to 3 examples of the work you've done, and you tailor it to the job description, and it also matches your resume experience, right? So when you have an interview, you want to call out and you want to tell better stories using the STAR method. And the STAR method, the acronym stands for situations, tasks, action, and results. So when you are giving your answers, instead of you answering broadly, a lot of times like you hear from recruiters or hiring managers that the person answered too broadly. Like instead of you saying, oh, I manage 360 marketing campaigns, you would deep dive into what that exactly entailed. Instead of high level, I manage marketing campaigns, you would say, I manage email updates, I manage the site, I manage all the socials for for the TikTok, for the brand, that's Instagram, YouTube. So you would talk about either it's shorts that you manage or maybe it's long form, right? Because a lot of brands today also have YouTube channels. So they are taking a snippet of whatever they're talking about or selling their product, and they are pushing it forward in long form, or a lot of times it's short. So maybe you were brought in to just manage your social media campaigns, 360. That's what the role entails. So you don't want to just come in and say, oh, I manage 360 campaigns. You want to really sit down and talk about what that entailed. And when you break down every part of like the website from, the other digital assets, maybe there's landing pages updates, maybe the brief called for, we need extra snippets to put on other media channels, or they want to put maybe some snippets also on LinkedIn, right? So this is part of whatever is in your marketing brief. You want to make sure that you are talking about each thing in depth, rolling it out properly. And I say that you should write them down, 2 or 3 of your best ones, depending on the job interview that you're having. If you're having a 30-minute, say, Teams interview, then you might only just want to highlight 2. Because remember, an interview is like kind of like a tennis game, right? It should kind of be like ping pong, like they throw the ball and you throw your answer back, right? So it should have a flow to it. Now, sometimes you may not have that chance because you have some hiring managers that they have an interview script, meaning they have like 5 or 6 key questions that they want to ask each candidate. They're going by how you answer them. So that's when you have to be a little more creative. But if you have a normal 30 minutes interview, and then the hiring manager, usually they'll start with, they're telling you about the role, what it entails, what they're looking for, and then they will pass it to you and say, tell me about yourself. And basically you want to highlight your experience that's applicable to that job description that you're talking about right then and there. I don't want you to talk too broadly, like I said, because it's like you don't want to be like where it's nuanced, right? Where they have to figure out. The key is that the better your interviewing and your storytelling becomes, the more you are able to land that role the first time, like that first interview. Because the reality is, usually with a hiring manager, the first 15 minutes, they kind of already know if you are like a hot candidate versus a warm, like, this could be the person, but it's not really the person. And that entails your storytelling. So someone else with the same kind of experience as you or comparable experience to your background can basically just tell a better story, in the sense of not only have they explained what they actually do day to day, they're also showing how they move the needle for the company, right? Like, tell me about a time you did this and this and that, or how did your changes affect the company? So you can say, after the changes I implemented, we saw, our emails had a more click-through rate, right? As opposed to, people just look at it one time and they log off or whatever, as opposed to like they really read the email, they stayed on the page longer. If you're directing them to a landing page or like a website, did they just get on it as an impression, or did they really like do that long scroll? And like someone like myself that has a fashion background, photography, like if I was putting on like my hat I have on Lily Pulitzer, and then like the leggings I have on to match, and like if I'm selling this as a, you see my whole body, and then but now I'm highlighting just the pants. I'm looking to see if that person just only looked at my hat as opposed to like it did the long scroll. And that's when you go down the page, the product page, and you see like every item, and you also maybe look at my stickers, right? All of that entails what you're doing. So when you're in the interview, you want to say that because like I said, in this competitive job market, since a lot of people have a lot of the same background or a lot of the same experience, you want to niche yourself out and pave a way and make a way for yourself to be like that girl in that thing, that girl or that guy in that. Well, this is mainly a women's channel, but I get it. Different people looking for roles and love fashion as well, so it's fine. But you want to show that you're that girl in that interview, so that way they know, like they know that it's you. So, and also another advantage to this is that again, it's going to depend on your storytelling, like who tells a better story. And the storytelling is also because the employee, the employer, the hiring manager can actually see you in that role. Like they can say, aha, this is what my team does. This is what the marketing team does daily, or this is what the digital team does daily. We need someone that could come in and that they kind of understand this. And remember, if you are going for high level roles, senior to director level roles, you have to tell better stories, right? Because they're not hiring you, they're not paying you, 150K to 200K for you to come in and say a few things that you've done, no, they're gonna go more deep diving. Now, deep dive interview also is where it's high level, so you want to say where again you push the needle forward. You made a difference, what impact that you have on the team. This also affects your bonuses. You can say, yeah, because I even got a better bonus for the next quarter because of my strategy that I implemented to the team. You're showing your worth also. Again, an interview is not, you're not proving your worth because your worth already comes from God. You're already worthy in Him. But you're showing that you are capable to do this job because it is an interview and you are dealing with different candidates. So I'm out here today. I'm in Central Park, which is by my house. You see the towers in the back. It's beautiful. It's nice. I love this kind of weather. It's kind of breezy out. After this, I want to like go over to Nordstrom. They're having like the sale, the 50% off sale kind of started. Friends and family, so that's right in my neighborhood as well. So I'm just taking advantage. But yeah, I wanted to film this today to talk about how I want you guys to focus on telling better stories, because in this competitive job market, whether it's remote or hybrid, your storytelling is what is going to set you apart from everyone else. So I've had a recruiter give feedback before, and again, I'm in touch with a lot of different recruiters. Some I kind of knew for years. So they would tell me like, this person had an interview and all they talked about was like work front. Again, a lot of when you're getting more into senior level manager roles or director level roles, they're not looking for a task person. They're looking for someone that is, you're doing a strategy, you're helping out, they're bringing you into the conversations earlier, you're in the planning meeting, you know what the quarter entails, you know what's happening in Q1 versus Q4. What are we planning? Are we, do we have some ad hoc projects going on? So you want to be able to show your value in the interview. And like I said before, guys, if it's a 30-minute interview, you want to have two actionable items that you did. Write them down at first. The more you interviewing is like a muscle, right? And it's also an art and it's a science. So the more interviews you have, the better that muscle gets. And you also want to focus on having momentum, meaning you apply to roles that's your level. You also apply roles that's outside of your level. You also may apply to one or two roles that's kind of below your level. But like, because I say it because you don't know who's going to pick your resume for the next step. And sometimes you may just welcome an interview with the hiring manager just to make sure that you are using that muscle, because the better you are at your interviews, the more success you will have. Because like I said, it's momentum, right? It's like going to the gym every day. I heavily do Pilates, did ballet as a child. and through my adult. So like my body is kind of already in the form of what I do, right? So it's like I don't have to, like I can eat a lot of food and then my body will still take on just because it's embedded in me, right? It's in my bones. I'm already disciplined in this thing. So that's how I want you to have your interviewing skills, where you, like I said, you may welcome a lower role because you can have the chance for the hiring manager. And let's be clear, interview request, right? You have to pass the recruiter screen, then you have to have an interview with the hiring manager, and everyone doesn't get to the next stage. And the next stage after you pass the hiring manager would be for you maybe to meet the team. Or I've had interviews where, you know, with my background is in consulting, where I just had a one and done. Like that day, they knew I was getting a role. I knew too. And then sometimes I didn't know I was getting a role and I got the role as well. So again, like I tell you, it takes the star, you implementing the star principle and focusing on how you gave impact to the team, what drove your results. Did this result in you getting a higher bonus? Also, when you have a job, in order for you to get promoted, you want to think about things that you've done all year. Like if you had a stake in this program doing well, or you helped this launch be successful, you want to write that down, not only on to boost your LinkedIn, but you also want to have it because, you know, like every year you get your review, your performance review, and they, you know, you have questions for you to answer, then questions that your boss answers, and then you come, and there's a lot of things that you may get praised for in the moment, in the season, but everyone forgets about it, you know. It's like the Clio Awards. I used to help with the award submissions back when I was in advertising and I worked at Publicis, and they had like a lot of award shows, and a lot of times they forgot about certain awards or they forgot about certain campaigns, and they used the person who was managing it to say, oh yeah, you had this campaign. Do you want to enroll in this one, or do you want to enroll in this, the smaller pool, but maybe you get an award? So you want to talk about how you added value to the team, and that may be whatever role you're in. How did you bring in value? Because they're not just hiring a person, a candidate. Like I said, this is more for senior level and director roles. Whereas when you still meet mid-level or manager level, it's more like how are you managing the tasks? How are you working with the teams cross-functionally? How are your relationships working? How are you getting along with other departments? If there is people that are, you know, they have strong or difficult personalities, they'll ask you about that as well. It's such a cute baby over there. That's why I'm looking to the side. It's so cute. Like I said, I'm in Central Park. The park is packed. It's Sunday. Everybody's in the park. I'm loving it. But yeah, so I wanted to film this today to just give you guys this nugget, this video, because tomorrow is Monday. We are highly in freelance season as well. A lot of roles are coming. I want you guys to be equipped. I want you to be ready to put yourself forward, have your star examples written out, 2 or 3, depending on the length of the interview. And like I said, and be ready. And also, if it's a standardized interview where the hiring manager already has her 5 questions or their 3 top questions, you want to be able to answer those, but still have your star examples in your head so you can easily pull them. The more you tell your stories, the better it is. Someone like myself, my background is in fashion, merchandising, and marketing. So storytelling is kind of like in my blood already, because with fashion, you have to, right, you want to tell the story. Like, what is it doing? That's all of the lifestyle shots that's happening going on now, the day-to-day of people. What are you doing outside of looking like you're just standing there, you know? How are you bringing value? So, yeah, so that's what this interview is about today, giving you guys a strong start for the rest of the week. Like I said, tomorrow is Monday. I'm going to head over to the Nordstrom sale now. Skims is like 50% off. I'm going to see what's left over. If I remember, I may shoot some of it just to add to the end of this video. Secondly is I posted my new blog post about my natural hair. I got caught in the rain. I posted a blog post about that. So I will link that blog post to this one because it went up. I think I put it up like last week, Sunday or something. So yeah, I'm a little wait behind because this was a week ago. But anyway, have a good day. Bye. So these are the medium. The other one was a large, but I don't know. Kind of fitting the same. Just a little more snug. I don't know. I have to see. I got to try the large one again and just see which one I feel better in. Because clothes is also how do you feel better? Like, how does your body feel in it? But yeah. Either one could work, but I'm just happy that they had the pink. The shorts look so good, guys. Right? I don't feel like trying on the top because it's a medium, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna rock with the shorts and the top. All in one, because like the weather is great too. And then I told you that I love blush pink. And it looks good on me. Yep. Pilates to the gym or tennis, whatever. Well, probably not tennis, but yeah. Walking around, doing my errands. But yeah, I'm going to try the pants as well. But so far, I'm sold on this. I'm not going to try the top, like I said, because it's kind of like tight. And I don't want to like take off my shirt and all that stuff. So I try to wear like, it's funny because I wear athletic wear when I'm going to stores just because it's easy to take off when you're trying on clothes, getting out of them easily. But yeah, that's why. I'm going to try the pants on as well. But I think I'm sold on the shorts and the top. See the Skims, y'all? So yeah, here's the sale. I was looking at it the other day. I was trying to see if they have more colors. I mean, they have the pink, which I love. I love a blush pink. It's like one of my favorite pinks. But they didn't have, I'm a medium. Let's see if this is a medium. No, that looks like a small. I know about clothes. I've been in retail all my life. I can look at something and know it don't fit. Or if it does fit. Let's see. This one. And then remember, sizes are not the same today. But for some reason, for athletic wear, they usually get it kind of right. This one might be okay. Yeah. Right here, you can see it. And I love the logo. Look, it's just like so, you know what I mean? It's not loud. That's what I do love about it. And then this one is cute too, the biking shorts. I'd rather the leggings than the biking shorts. The biking shorts are good for like when I'm doing Pilates or like if I do a spin class. But normally I like leggings. I'm more of a leggings person. Yep. Yeah, I don't see too many mediums. And then I also love like a set. I love how that looks. It's so thick and like the logo. You know, it's just like if you have the same set, you just look more together even when you're running around doing errands. You just look more together. Especially in one color. Now they do have the brown as well, but I'm not really feeling the brown, even though fall is right here, so it may look cute later on in the fall. They actually do have my size in the mediums, but it's the brown. I don't know if I want brown right yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm still in summer, but I do plan ahead. But this is cute, or even like a nice airport suit, right? Leggings and a jacket. Heading on a flight, that looks so nice and put together, especially when it's one color. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm feeling the brown right now, but they do have a lot of my size in the brown. I want the pink. I'm going to ask them if they have any mediums in the back, which sometimes they usually do. And then the black, of course, which is kind of regular. And then you can see me right here, too. Hi. Yeah. That's it. I kind of just came for this to check the different sizes. I love these two. The two tones. I I like that too. I might do this one too. Maybe I'm gonna try this one on. And then just put like a gray jacket or tan maybe. But I don't know. I kind of wanted a set. So, you know, I don't want to get thrown off. You know how it is if something is on sale and it's like you just mind it because it's on sale. Even though I love those. But I want a set. So if I'm going to spend money, that's what it's going to be on. But that's it. I said that I would show you guys a little bit. It's the sale. It's going on. I took a picture of the time frame because I actually forgot it because it's right in my neighborhood. So yeah, so I'm always like in these stores anyway. But anyway, bye.